Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the Book It community and around the world. We've got another great episode of The Morning After for you today on this beautiful Thursday morning. It's actually raining, so I'm going to say this shitty Thursday morning over here in Dallas, Texas. Josh is in the studio. Nick is behind the camera, and we've got Krabs coming on later for the betting section. How are we doing?
Great. How are we doing?
Dude, I'm doing good other than the fact that the University of Minnesota, fuck you. Okay? Josh, I'm not even kidding. This is unprecedented levels of selling. 6 straight parlays, losing by one leg.
Yeah. I mean,
yesterday's
can't cap for that.
Was the minus 245 Minnesota Gophers that lost by 15 outright.
Yeah.
What are we doing, dude? I was like, you know what? Butler short line against the better Xavier team. Took my ass out for FAU on the road against North Texas. And Minnesota, I'm not even kidding you, was the first button I clicked in that parlay. When I was building that parlay, Minnesota, first button I clicked. Best team against the spread.
Yeah.
First button I clicked,
Just
Minnesota, at home.
Just need the money line.
At home. First button I clicked. Butler, with ease. FAU, little dirty in the first half, but with ease.
Yeah.
Minnesota. What are we doing, dude? What are we doing? I was actually so mad. I didn't know what to do.
Dude, I mean, you did say that you just ride with them because they cover up. Like, you can put your head on your pillow at night and be okay, right?
That was for the spread. Putting my head on pillow for a minus 245 money line.
That is true.
That loses as the
That's
last
fair.
leg. I'm not going to lie to you, Josh. There was a part of me, once FAU got across the finish line, I went,
it's over.
No, we might have done the thing.
Yeah.
Like Daniel, fire up the winning graphic. Fire up the winning graphic. Babe, put the red undies on. Because we finally hit a 3-teamer. Nope. Minus 245. Lose outright. I think it was to fucking Indiana. The worst team in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I mean, can you just come on? Can you just come on? Other than that, Josh, just want to hand up really quick as a show. I think we need to address LSU might be the worst basketball team in the country. So that's on us. More so me, but that's on us. Worst basketball team in the country, LSU. Best basketball team in the country, the POD Pirates. The POD Pirates, I'm not even kidding. I dropped a nuclear whale on
They
them.
won by 10, right?
Dude, not only did they win by 10, but they were belt the ass spanking all game. Literally all game, I'm not even kidding. The Villanova never had a chance. Kadari Richmond is literally the most versatile point guard in the entire country. Kid is 6'6".
Yeah, it's insane.
Rebounds like a center. Shoots like a guard. Drives like prime LeBron. I'm not even kidding. The way he uses his body, I've never seen anything like it. And he's got a strap on defense.
Yeah.
In case you were wondering.
They're good,
about
dude.
him.
They can make a little run.
Dude, they're going to make a run. Dude, they're my dark horse to win the Big East tournament.
Are they for sure getting in or not?
I don't know. I think
probably
they have
right on
to.
the fringe, right?
I think they have to. There's 2 more games left for the Power Fives? I think Power
one
Sixes,
more.
whatever. Is there one more game left?
I think one.
I think we have UConn, and I think they have. I forget who they have, but they're gonna have to do something in the Big East tournament to get in for sure.
Yeah.
But they have a bunch of quad 1 wins, I think, too.
Yeah.
Because they've won on the
They do
road
have
and
good
they've won
wins.
at home.
Yeah.
But listen, hit the PP entry yesterday. Okay. Kadari Richmond, PRA, air. Michi Johnson, air. Also hand up. It was never South Carolina.
Yeah, dude.
I think we had to have known at some point we were going to lose our cheeks. But I'll tell you what, I almost love that loss because I think a lot of people are going to look at that loss without having watched that game and be like, dude, South Carolina's fraudulent. And they're going to go deep in March.
Dude, did you see them almost backdoor?
Dude, did I almost say it was the only thing on my TV? It was literally the only, I went full screen. I had a quad box.
Oh my God.
It was the only thing on my TV. If that kid didn't go for the dunk and just tapped, we're covering.
Dude, that would have been one of the most electric covers of all time.
Also, I don't know if you've ever watched a South Carolina game, but having watched South Carolina games, Michi Johnson only pulls from the logo. Kid was 0 for 7 from 3 last night, and it was like, dude, maybe just take 2 steps in and then let one go. He literally strictly pulls from the elbow logo. I've never seen anything like it. Just take a couple steps in. Just take a couple steps in and then take one. I'm sitting there with 11.5 points. He jocks 3 straight threes. Ended with 18, though. So, we hand up. Well done on that one, Michi. I told you Wagner Sacred Heart was going to be weird. Wagner won outright. I told you Fairleigh Dickinson Lemoyne was going to be weird. Lemoyne won outright.
Are they the Dolphins?
Yeah. I only know them because of Krabs. And Josh, we said it. We said Boston College plus 6.5 is a weird spread. They won by fucking 10. I don't know why I never just bet those.
Yeah.
Like, that was when I had a gut feeling, and it was like, there's no way they don't cover the spread, and I just didn't bet them because I don't want to have to post a Boston College slip. Like, that's just a nightmare scenario. It was never Michigan State. I apologize if you tailed that one. It was always Loyola Chicago.
Yeah.
They're going to be very good going into March. They're trying to win that conference right now, so keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes peeled. What else happened? FAU won by 4. Marquette didn't cover because they're moose shit. Kentucky didn't cover. Minnesota lost outright. Texas A&M was a donkey. We moved to what in the world, Josh? Listen, there was a couple things that I saw across my Twitter feed last night. But let's transition, shall we?
Let's do it.
Do we have the graphic?
Oh, yeah, we do.
Are we running graphics?
No, we're not.
Josh asleep at the wheel.
We're back.
The news segment for TMA. What in the world? Josh, what in the world happened?
All right, so I saw last night there's a bunch of rumors swirling about my team, about the Chicago Bears, about how they have mutual interest with Josh Jacobs from the Raiders.
Wow.
Is that a move, do you think?
Yeah, dude. The kid runs like a bull.
But do you believe in paying running backs? Because
No.
I assume that he's got to get paid
dude.
something.
No.
So no.
No.
What
if you have to pay him, no.
Okay, so say we give him $11 million a year.
The running back is the most useless position in football if you want to win a Super Bowl. That's why Christian McCaffrey doesn't have a ring. Derrick Henry doesn't have a ring. Like, none of these guys have rings. I think we literally went back on the old pod, and we went back, I think it was 10 years. Not a single running back on those Super Bowl teams, I think, had a Pro Bowl.
Got paid money.
Had a Pro Bowl.
Just like,
I think it was LeGarrette Blount, Sony Michel, Jerick McKinnon, Leonard Fournette, who before he went playoff Lenny was moose shit.
Damian Williams.
Like, dude, you don't pay running backs if you want to win Super Bowls. Isaiah Pacheco, like, the Chiefs might have to pay, though. That kid is a fucking monster.
Yeah.
Like, he's a monster. But no, I don't believe in paying running backs. I guarantee you the Jets are going to end up paying Breece Hall an arm and a leg. Like, you don't pay running backs if you want to win Super Bowls.
You got to pay Breece Hall, though.
Like, yeah, no, I mean, you got it. It's same the way you have to pay Derrick Henry, you have to pay Christian McCaffrey, but you're not going to win Super Bowls with them. Like, that's just
that's fair.
A fact.
But I'm kind of all in on it, dude, to be honest.
On Josh
only
Jacobs?
if we're getting Caleb. I think if we have Justin,
it's a good safety blanket.
That's what I'm saying. It's like if you got a rookie quarterback, like just get a good running back, maybe sign him for 2 years, give him a little safety, just hand the ball off a couple times.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that. It's a nice safety blanket for him to just be like, oh, I'm not playing well. Here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll just get Josh going.
Exactly.
I think Josh Jacobs would also look sick in a Bears.
He would look sick.
That would look
tough. You think he'd rock 8? No one wears 8.
That would be sick.
That would be sick.
That would be pretty sick. What else happened?
Let's talk about Ben Simmons. He's done for the year.
Dude. Like, can we just – I think as a basketball community, we need to be okay with coming together and just – let's cut him. Let's just cut him.
Just in the NBA should cut him.
Like the
Not even
as a league,
yeah,
like the
league,
Nets shouldn't have the sole responsibility of cutting him. I think the NBA as a league, I agree with you, should cut Ben Simmons.
I agree.
And agree, no one's going to re-sign him. Let him go back home to Australia, play in the Australian Basketball League. And you know what's funny about Ben Simmons? I guarantee you, I would put my next 5 paychecks on the fact that if the NBA cut Ben Simmons today, if the Brooklyn Nets let him walk today, within 2 months, he's playing full minutes in the Australian Basketball League with no back restrictions.
You think?
Dude, I literally guarantee it. That kid is as soft as literal tissue paper. Like actually tissue paper. Mm-hmm. Remember the Nets were like, guys, listen, he's our guy. Let's stop with the chirping.
Yeah.
Dude, he is a fucking coward.
How many games has he played?
I guarantee you he's missed more than he's played at this point. Remember the Nets were like,
for sure.
Remember the Nets were like, Kyrie, we got you. We got you, Ben Simmons.
Dude, he's played 15 games this year.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Literally, go fuck yourself. How much is he getting paid?
Let's see. Dude,
how much is he getting paid? It's going to be obscene.
Absurd, yeah.
I guarantee it's going to be obscene.
5 years, $177 million.
Yeah, literally go fuck yourself.
$37 million this year.
15 games. Book it with Trent. We found someone that gets paid more to be worse at their job than you. Here we go.
Dude, he takes up 27% of their cap.
And he's played 15 games. Dude.
That's awful.
Dude. That's actually robbery. That's the biggest bag stealer of all time, actually.
Yeah, it might be.
I know we
actually
made
for sure.
I know we made a list of a couple guys that have taken some bags. Le'Veon Bell was up there. Dude, Ben Simmons might be number one.
He is. There's no doubt about it.
$37 million to play 15 games. He's out for the season now.
Guess how much he makes next year?
42.
40.3.
Literally, fuck yourself. I like, dude, Ben Simmons, just cut him and eat it.
You have to.
Because you might as well just cut it and eat it, because it's even worse that he just won't play.
Yeah.
Like, he won't play.
I think he's scared.
I genuinely think he's scared. Like, this is going to go down as a 30 for 30. And I hope it's an absolute, what's it called when the news just absolutely, like, especially with politicians, they just fucking like cut them out at the knees. It's called like, it's a something job. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't think
you do. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't think
It's
so.
like, that was a hit job, a hit piece. You know what I'm talking about?
Like a hit piece?
It might be a hit piece, but it's something job.
Like writing something about
that's a mud job, like a mud throwing job. They used to call it mudslinging. I don't know. I literally hope Ben Simmons gets a hit piece on him by a 30 for 30, like ESPN.
Yeah, they said hit piece. Yeah,
hit piece. Yeah, I hope 30 for 30 puts out a hit piece on Ben Simmons, like at some point at the end of it, because I would sit down with 2 buckets of popcorn to watch that shit, because I fucking hate Ben Simmons. Like, I hate him.
They'd have to be recording his life right now, and I doubt anyone's doing that.
Do you remember when he showed up?
Unless he's paying for it.
Do you literally remember when he showed up to the Sixers practice, phone in pocket, and wouldn't do drills, and Doc Rivers had to kick him out of practice? Just because he wasn't playing well. I don't know if anyone remembers this. He wasn't playing well. It had nothing to do with the Sixers. They sat him in the fourth quarter because he wouldn't shoot the ball.
And he stunk.
But then
it wasn't because he wouldn't shoot the ball. Like, he was scared. Like, you just playing scared basketball.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't. And he made it seem like the Sixers were doing him wrong.
Yeah.
Like, literally? Go fuck yourself, Ben Simmons. I hate it. Josh, I could sit up here and talk about Ben Simmons for hours about how much I hate that guy. Because he was the Messiah. He was literally Caleb Williams coming out of college.
Yeah.
Didn't win anything.
He was supposed to be the next Magic Johnson. Like, literally the next Magic Johnson.
Dude, they were like, this kid at LSU is going to turn a franchise around.
Yeah.
And then the Sixers got a hold of him. And then, like, 2 years in, people were like, I don't think he can shoot the ball. And
like,
you know who broke him?
Who?
The Brooklyn Nets.
They broke him?
Yeah, dude.
Well, KD and them?
No, they put Jared Dudley on him. No, the D'Angelo Russell.
Jared Dudley. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Dude, it was, I'm not even kidding. It was the Brooklyn Nets with Jared Dudley, D'Angelo Russell, Spencer Dinwiddie.
I remember that.
Jared Dudley picked him up at the opposite free throw line. He would literally, like, the Nets broke him.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was the first team in the playoffs.
They beat them in the playoffs.
That was my last year as a Nets fan, because D'Angelo Russell brought me back as one of my favorite players in the NBA. I was like all in on the Nets. We were fucking busting on teams. We made the playoffs out of fucking nowhere with Kenny Atkinson. Love that guy. I hope he gets a head coaching job again sometime soon. He was like my favorite head coach of all time. And Jared Dudley broke him. The Nets were the first team to break Ben Simmons, because Jared Dudley was like, he can't shoot the ball. I'm going to pick him up at the free throw line.
Yeah, that was bad.
Like, dude, but then if you remember, that was the playoff run where he didn't take the free throw in the next round. Like that playoff series broke Ben Simmons.
Who did they play? They played the Hawks, I believe, after that. Is that right?
Yeah, because the Hawks beat the Knicks.
Yeah.
While the Nets were playing the Sixers.
And then the Hawks Bucks were the conference finals.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that series against the Hawks, he was terrible.
But literally, Jared Dudley broke Ben Simmons. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, that is actually insane. Jared Dudley was, who's the guy that just takes corner threes? PJ
Tucker, yeah.
PJ Tucker. I was going to say Washington.
Yeah.
Jared Dudley was PJ Tucker before PJ Tucker.
Oh, for sure,
like,
yeah.
But
just
way worse at shooting.
Yeah, exactly.
But he literally broke Ben Simmons. I'll never forget that. I was like, oh, shit. Like, why are we picking up Ben Simmons there? And it was like, oh, motherfucker can't shoot the ball.
Yeah. Like, at all.
Literally insane.
Dude, he was shooting like I did when I was 12 years old.
Dude,
like, it seems like you're putting your whole body into it, but like you're 6'10", like 250 pounds probably.
And then I love the off-season like Y workouts that they put out where he's like wetting jumpers and like, Ben Simmons might be all the way back. He might have found his jump shot. But if you watch him at LSU, he didn't shoot the ball there either.
Yeah.
He was just all slashing, and they're like, this kid's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Didn't he make the tournament, dude? No. People forget that. It is so easy to make the tournament if you are the best player in the country in college basketball. You can will your team personally to wins. Dalton Knecht. I mean, he's got a great team around him. The kid had 20 points in the first like fucking 10 minutes last night. Like, it is so, Buddy Hield. It is so easy to make the tournament if you're the best player in the country. He was unanimous number one overall pick. They didn't make the tournament.
Yeah.
Like, we're not even a bubble team. I literally remember on Selection Sunday, they were like, it's a shame that Ben Simmons is missing out on the March Madness because the people at home are going to miss a show.
Do you know who made the tournament? John Morant. With a dog shit program.
Moose.
Yeah.
Murray State team, which who's playing today, by the way,
They
which
are.
we will get to in a little bit. But we got the early plays for you guys today. I have a 2-piece Prize Picks entry. I got plays for the first 2 games, and then I have our POD.
Should bring Krabby up here. I want to hear his opinions on these first couple games too.
Let's do it. Let's get Krabs up here. All right, yeah, let's get to the betting portion, guys. We said we're going to start doing a little bit earlier because I feel like we need a little bit more bets in the TMA. I know what you guys are here for. I get it. You know, Josh and I, we love to chit chat about sports, but let's be honest. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. We just want sports and we want to bet on, and it's March, and this is what we do. Krabs, welcome back to TMA. It's always a pleasure to have you. How are we doing?
We're doing all right. We're doing okay. My Hokies have won their last 2 games. They're in the Joe Lunardi's contention, right? They're not on the bubble, but they're in contention, which means they have less than 1%. They're hanging on by a thread. Life is good.
Life is good. The Providence Friars, I honestly hope we don't make the tournament.
I saw you guys on ESPN last night going on the banner on the bottom saying first 4 out, first name, Providence.
Yeah. I wouldn't hate that, dude.
First name.
Yep. Because that, you know why I wouldn't hate that, Krabs? Because we got a team where if we don't make it, the rest of the year and during March, if there's an upset, I'd be like, if that's Providence, we're going to the Final Four.
Sure, you have an excuse. Back pocket.
You almost want to be first 4 out if your team is like mid, like not great, not bad, but mid. You almost want to be the first 4 out because you're like, the committee fucked us. If we made it, we're going on a run. Like this team could beat anybody.
That's the biggest loser mentality I've ever heard in my entire life.
But it's true. Like that's literally
Providence and DT will get 1 seeds in the NIT, Mike. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, dude. But it's all. First of all, if we get invited to the NIT, I want us to opt out.
I know they don't do that anymore, though.
Devin Carter,
seniors.
Devin Carter should not play in the NIT.
He's too
good. That would be a travesty. It's like being a Jets fan, dude. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy, we're going to the bowl. It's like you can't tell me we weren't. You can't tell me Providence wasn't going to make a run in March because we didn't make it. So it's the perfect, like, I can sit back and be like, dude, fucking, you know what?
It is the perfect cop-out.
That's what I'm saying. It's a perfect cop-out.
It is.
All right. Krabs, we've got some early games today.
Sure.
And I wanted to talk through them with you.
Yeah.
I already have 3 plays.
Whoa.
For the first 2 games.
Whoa.
I was in the lab late last night. Might have a little bit of a cold coming on. So I was bedridden, laid up in lab, which is exactly what you want. And I'll tell you what we're doing, Krabs. And then you tell me what you're doing. We're taking the over in South Alabama, Georgia Southern. These teams only know how to score the ball, and I don't see that changing whatsoever. We're also taking the over in the Missouri State-Murray State game. And I'm not just taking the overs because I'm Mikey overs. I looked into these overs, and I like them, okay? The last 5 games that both Georgia Southern and South Alabama have played, they have scored 80 in like every other game. Both of them. No matter the competition, no matter who they're playing. That game's soaring over. Missouri State is soaring over. And because that Missouri State-Murray State game is soaring over, I'm also taking Missouri State plus 2.5, even though the line is moving against them. Because I'll tell you a team where the line moved against them yesterday that Josh and I were all over, the LSU Tigers, who lost by fucking 15. So, taking Missouri State and that over, and I'm taking the over in South Alabama, Georgia Southern, and I'm not touching a side in that South Alabama, Georgia Southern game.
Fair. I think you should stay away from a side in that Georgia Southern and South Alabama game, I'll be honest with you. I mean, South Alabama gets 0 line respect, but that team does weird shit all the time. Georgia Southern, the same thing. They get 0 line respect at all, so I really don't know what to do with that spread. Sure, it looks short for Georgia Southern, no doubt. I want no part in it. Every time Georgia Southern looks like a short dog, they get blown out by 40. I'm good, okay? And Georgia Southern's been on a crazy over streak as well. They've cashed at least 5 straight overs. So you're looking good there. The second over, Missouri State, Murray State, not loving that over. I'll be completely honest with you, but I'm happy you stayed away from the side in that first game. It's so sketch. Second game, you're going with Missouri State, barely getting a point and a half, 2 points. It was the 9 seed in the series against fraudulent Murray State. That team also, this entire season, gets a line respect. People remember their legacy runs in previous years. This team stinks. They've been fake sharp all season. Why not fade them? I'm in.
Yeah, dude, Krabs, thank you for saying that. Like, that is literally what was going through my head, Krabs, because I feel like I've bet on Murray State a couple times this year. I think it was 4. I think maybe I hit one of those. And it's not like a team that I'm mad at for not covering. It's more so one of those teams where you look at that name and it's one of those mid-majors that for whatever reason, I think, guys like John Morant, whatever, it's literally just John Morant.
It's literally
you give them the respect that they haven't earned or deserved year after year. And Murray State is one of those teams where every casual that's betting college basketball now that we're in March is looking at that and going, Murray State is a favorite. Like, dude, I'm taking fucking Murray State. Fuck yeah. Like, who the hell is Missouri State? And you give them this respect that they haven't earned or deserved year after year just because they're a name that you know. And I feel like agreeing with you, That's been happening all year, and they've been getting spanked all year.
Yep. Keep fading them. Nothing changes today, right? Keep fading.
I'm all in. I also love. I have a little two-piece for you, Chris. And I happen to text Javon one of the squares.
Okay.
And it's in that Missouri State game. Alston Mason might be my POD prize pick square at 16.5 points more than. I think this kid is going to drop 20 to 25 on Murray State. Like I started watching a couple of his highlights, went back in the game logs. He only had 2 points last game. Before that, 21-17, I think it was 20, then 15. Kid is a fucking bucket. And you're telling me
he's their best player by far.
By far.
17.5 this season.
By far. And
he's
I'm also
taking kid, homegrown.
That's what I'm saying, dude. He's from Overland Park.
You know he's going to want to show out for the Missouri State Bears.
Want to bust. Also, people don't know he's also a model. Ran at the Vanette show.
Okay. Did not know that, but he's got some good confidence going into this game tonight. Good.
Pairing it with Jacoby Wood more than 12.5 points. When you look at his box score, he doesn't score a lot at volume. He normally sits around this 12-point mark, but he averages 15 against Missouri State. And if I'm taking this over, I'm taking the kid that has averaged close to the most points against this Missouri State team. So, Alston Mason, POD, PP square for the early game, 16.5 more than. And Jacoby Wood on Murray State more than 12.5 points just because he averages the most against him. I'm not going to lie to you. That's all the lab work I did for Jacoby.
Definitely like the first square better, your POD, the one that you were leaning into more. Second square, as long as you're not taking Moses Wood, your best friend from Washington, who you hate and love chirping on Twitter, I'm good. So, but maybe take that first square with a couple others because I think you have a pretty good angle there.
I love it.
With Alston.
I love it. And, Jacoby Wood was just a pair because I wanted to watch the game and be like, if I'm rooting for that over, be like, shoot Jacoby. And then if he fucks it up, I'm like, Alston Mason. But Alston Mason, I'm definitely going to have, like, I'm not going to lie, 5+ entries pairing him with other shit. Like, I actually love him today in this spot.
Yeah, take him. That total's creeping back up. I was watching it. It went down 2 points. I was, starting to get some weird vibes, and then it started to go up a little bit today, about a point. So good movement late. That's usually a pretty good sign for some overs, Mr. Overs.
Good move.
Yeah.
Krabs, I happen to have a POD on today's board, similar to Seton Hall. Yesterday.
Good play.
And I think you're gonna hate it.
Okay.
But it's got some lab work behind it. It's also got some narratives behind it.
You geek me, bro. What do we got?
Southern Miss money line against Texas State. Andre Curbelo. Andre Curbelo, second game back.
The sketchiest game on the board.
You take Southern Miss.
Your POD.
You click that button, Southern Miss money line, as well as it's a double POD. Pepperdine minus 9.5 because Pacific might be the worst team in all of college basketball.
I mean, that's the worst game.
Gross.
Like a year or two ago when IUPUI was like still defeated and they played Green Bay and they were both like a combined like 4-40 at that point. That was the worst game ever. But now everything's changed, right? You see these two teams playing each other today and you want to throw up.
Yeah. Gross. But you take Pepperdine minus 9.5 because Pacific literally only knows how to do one thing, and it's get their doors blown off.
I'd love to say it was a coach's fired system play because they fired their coach, but so did Pacific because they're that bad.
No, yeah, this is going to be a moose shit. Like
double coaches fired system play. I don't know how to back both of them, but maybe take the over in that game and have them shine. They'll put up 100 points each. With no
Everyone's
coach.
clipping.
Gooch says that Andre Curbelo is moose.
Hey, Gooch.
I mean, yeah, he is. To be honest with you, he's not great. There's some reason he's playing at Southern Miss. Like,
hey, Gooch. That's all I have to say. No, it's Southern Miss. That's my POD. I fucking love them today.
Is that a pick'em?
No, minus 2.5.
I don't know why. There's no spread on the website right now.
But I'm taking the ML for sure.
No, I know, yeah.
They're up to minus 2.5. They're catching some steam.
It's also not just Andre Curbelo. Obviously, I think him being back is going to move that needle for me a little bit. I think he played, 30 minutes in the last game he just started in. But I also love like this kid Austin Crowley's a fucking bucket. Obviously, he's the best player by far.
He is their best player.
But I also just love the way they match up against Texas State. Like I'm not really high on anyone on Texas State, to be totally honest with you. Like they're
Mikey, man. Look, fading Texas State in this conference tourney is not for the faint of heart. This team at times has just burst through. Usually the worse they do in the regular season, the better they do in the postseason. Really weird. And this season they've been mid. So that's what scares me. I'm staying off. And that's why I said it's a sketchy ass game. And you're talking about Curbelo coming back. Sure, I don't think that matters as much as you think because he's really not the star of that team.
No, he's not the star.
Mikey, I will say this, though, man. Southern Miss is the sharp play. as much as I hate to say it, because this game makes my brain hurts. I mean, they're coming off of 2 losses. They have not been great this season. They were dominant last year. I think they were first or second regular season in that conference. Absolutely elite, the oldest team in college basketball. Really good coach, good program, good team. This year, barely over 500. Nobody wants to back them. And then Texas State, they've been mid all season, but they're a program that's been dominant in this conference, in the past couple of decades. And they're coming in off of 4 straight wins and covers. And Southern Miss is a favorite catching steam on a neutral court.
Yeah, I love it. And I know you guys are saying, Andre Curbelo might not move that needle as much. In the past 5, he's had 3 where he scored 24 plus. Like this kid is a bucket. Like he
might be on a little revenge tour then, Mike.
He's a bot, but he is a bucket, dude. He's been playing 30 to 40 minutes a game. Like, dude, he's a bucket.
It helps when you're playing against, Texas State and not, the Big Ten. But
no, I mean he's a bot. But last time he played Texas State, he dropped 24.
He could do it. He's done it before. He could do it again.
And that was only 5 games ago.
Okay, lock in
Andre Curbelo all the way back. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna try to get him.
I like the play. It's sharp. I'm telling you.
Austin Mason, Andre Curbelo, PP Nuke would go crazy.
I mean, I feel like for the vibes, you got to take your guy Curbelo. Don't nuke that one because obviously the books are hip to Curbelo. They know what people are taking. That's like one of the only names in these mid-major ball sack states today that people know, right? So be careful. I'd lean more into that POD square you're talking about, Alston. But why not pair him, make it a 2-piece for $100 and go about your day? Sure.
No, I agree. Is there any mid-majors you like today, Krabs? It's a weird slate. I mean, there's only a couple of like power teams playing. I mean, you got a couple Big Ten games, and then obviously you got the whole Pac-12 at the bottom. But is there any like mid-major games that you're really looking at that are scratching that itch? I also don't mind Austin P minus 3.5. DeMarcus Sharp. I got to watch him in person last year when he played on Northwest State and he played Texas A&M Corpus Christi. That kid is an auto bucket. If he's on Prize Picks today, I'm definitely taking his more than points. And I don't mind Austin P minus 3.5 against North Alabama. But is there any other games that are kind of scratching that itch?
There's 2 ball sack states that are looking at me funny today. And the slate is absolutely disgusting. It reeks through my iPad right now, looking at all these games. The slate's gross, but this is March, Mike, and this is what we love. This is why we play. Right. Okay. I like 2 games, 2 ball sack states today. Give me Illinois State against fraudulent Evansville. Evansville came back down to earth towards the end of the season. Finally, this team is fraudulent. If you've watched them at all, you'd be surprised to see they're even 500 based off of how bad they are and how small they look. Illinois State, on the other hand, is the opposite. They're big, they're bad. They're coming off a loss as minus 5.5 point favorites at Valpo, a team that owns them. I think they come into this game today pissed off, and I think they hand Evansville a fat loss in the first round of this conference tourney. I'm going to lay it with the ML, minus 150, 1.5 units, and go about my day. But I'm loving Illinois State against the fraudulent Evansville boys.
I kind of like that, dude.
The Redbirds, I think it's their mascots. Fire.
Dude, I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, good parlay piece.
Is that real news in chat? Michael Thomas released.
Ooh. By the Saints?
Yeah.
Anyone need a slant guy? I feel like that's not even big news. Like,
I mean, it's not anymore.
Would you want him?
Big name. No, nobody wants him, bro.
Josh said potentially.
I mean, if you get him on like a super small contract, why not?
Yeah, but it's like getting Julio on a super small contract.
Yeah, but Michael Thomas is playing on a discount, brother. Come on.
He probably will.
Michael Thomas.
He's gonna have to.
He just didn't play for like 2 years.
He's gonna sign a 1-year fat. He's gonna sign a 1-year fat prove deal somewhere with a contender who needs a receiver.
Dude, that would be nuts. Krabs, are there any other mid majors that are scratching that itch? I've got a couple. I don't mind Fairfield minus 8.5. This team at home, I don't trust Fairfield on the road anymore. But whenever Fairfield's at home with a big spread, they just seem to know what they're doing and they seem to cover it with ease.
Yeah, that conference is crushed my bankroll this year. I'll be honest with you. I've just not done well. One other game I did want to bring up on here is Abilene Christian and Seattle. That's a pretty solid game today.
I was looking at that too. Game. I want to hear what you have to think. What you have to say.
Yeah, nasty game. We've got Seattle, who's coming in, playing pretty good ball at the end of the year after being pretty mid throughout the entire season. Typically a dominant team in this conference. Same with Abilene Christian. They're typically never under 500. This season they are. But they're coming into this tourney on absolute fuega, Mike. Covering and winning their last 5 games in a row. Dominant. Seattle couldn't even beat UT Arlington in that last contest. Seattle's been fake sharp for years. I think we fade them here and back the blue-collar, hardworking Abilene Christian boys down there in Texas to get a big-time win at home. Keep the 1.5. Don't need it. They went on the ML. They are the hottest team entering this game right now at the end of the season. I think they carry that momentum, and they get a big time win on senior nights to end their regular season.
Dude, Krabs, I fucking love that one.
They're on Fuego.
Dude, right, I love that. And you know what I was talking about yesterday, Krabs? And literally 3 of the games that we were talking about when I talked about this system literally hit. And it was that when we get into conference tournament and we get towards the end of the year, first of all, in conference tournament, don't be shy to take the team that's had to play 2 games in a row against a team that got rest, because rest in March is a killer, especially in conference tournaments. That's why you saw Georgetown 3 years ago win the Big East. That's why you saw Texas A&M go all the way to the finals when they were not even close to 500 2 years ago and for the SEC. And especially when you get to these mid-majors, you take the scorching hot teams. You take them.
Yes.
And you go to bed at night knowing you took the team that's scorching hot. Because for whatever reason, once that calendar flips from February to March, if you're hot, it's so hard to cool down.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about momentum. Nothing matters until March, right? You talk about first halves not mattering in the NBA, Mike. I mean, they don't. But seasons don't matter in college basketball. The only thing that matters is that you get to the fucking postseason and you're seeding, obviously. But, fresh, clean slate, right? These teams obviously coming in hot, but you got squads like Abilene Christian who are still under 500, ending their season very strong. But they get a little bit of a reset here. Typically, they're one of the better teams in this conference. I think they end the season extremely strong, and they build, and they win their 6th and cover their 6th in a row.
Dude, I agree. Like, I'm all in on that. I actually love Abilene Christian now.
I also love that Seattle already beat them.
Yeah,
they already beat them once this year.
Even better. And also, like, senior night matters.
Like, it does.
Like, it actually matters.
The last couple of days. Yes.
Like,
these weird small dogs at home in their last home game on senior night have been very, very profitable, knock on wood, this last week or so. Yes.
Krabs, 3 games I wanted to get your take on, and then we'll get you out of here so you guys can start BTL on time. I know we've been running over the last couple of days, but we're going to do a better job at that.
No big deal. Yeah.
Actually, I'll minimize it to 2 because I really want to bet both of these games. I was going to include the Washington game, but I know what you're going to do in that game, so I'm not even going to ask you. Colorado's playing Oregon at home, and at Oregon. The line has already moved 1 point for Oregon. I love fading Colorado because they're moose shit. Mm-hmm. And Oregon at home is kind of a mini wag. On the road, Oregon might be the worst team in the Pac-12. At home, Oregon can blow the doors off of anybody for some reason. Yes. I don't know what it is. Maybe they love their rims. Who knows? But I love Oregon at home against Colorado.
I like it too. Look, wow. Oregon gives me the EBGBs, Mike. For some reason, I just can't get a feel for that team. They do. They give me the EBGBs.
They do.
But I will say, Colorado, similar spot to like we were just talking about. Colorado's on fire again. They've won 4 in a row. Oregon coming off a loss. They've lost 2 of their last 3 outright. Not good. But at home, like you said, Mike, they're 12-2 this season. You back the Ducks at home. They get it done, and they play their best basketball in March. They always do. They always peak late. So
there's no
like
reason
the Ducks in this spot. I do.
For like no reason.
3.5 some places, Mike. They're up to 3.5.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at 3.5 right now. It was at 2.5 when I went to bed last night. Now it's at 3.5.
1.5 when it opened.
That's insane.
It's the Ducks. I feel like they win that game by 3, and they fuck everyone who gets late spreads locked in. But I mean, the total is at 150, so there should be some points.
Definitely gonna be some points. Krabs, last game.
Yeah.
Just wanted to get your opinion on real quick. Tell me why I'm not taking out a small business loan and putting it on Arizona minus 8.5 against the moose of moose UCLA Bruins, who I've been fading all year and might have like a 10-1 record against fading this year because they are so fucking moose. Tell me why I don't take Arizona minus 8.5. And Josh just said it. He said in Pauley Pavilion, I've watched 2 games of Pauley Pavilion. I used to live in LA. That stadium moves 0 needles. It is the most pathetic excuse for a college basketball stadium. It only has the aura that it does because of who's the guy that's always high on ESPN calling games now?
Bill Walton.
Bill Walton. It only has the aura that everyone thinks it does because of that era of UCLA ball. It is. I went to a game, Krabs, when UCLA had Johnny Jizrag and all those guys. They were number 2 in the country. They were number 2 in the country, Krabs. They didn't even fill the stadium. You can't buy a beer there. The hot dogs are moose shit. The store in the stadium has like 7 T-shirts for men. Okay? Maybe 3 for women. This stadium moves no needles. Why can Arizona not walk in there and just beat the shit out of them?
Look, man, that spread is short. I know it. You know it. Josh knows it. We all know it.
It is short.
It's short. Okay. We can all admit that spread is short. Okay. I don't know what's going on there, but let's not act like UCLA spreads haven't been short all season. And they've, 8 times out of 10 fallen flat on their faces and lost by 30. Right. This team's a joke. But we know this team has some talents. We know this team has a very good coach. And this team is home, where they've been, a little bit better. Not crazy. They're only 8-6 at home this season. But this is a game I stay away from because my square basketball brain says there's no fucking way UCLA stays within 20 points in this contest. But my crab's brain is saying, hey, why don't you sit this one out? Because that spread should probably be double digits, and it's not. So something's going on here. Sound the alarms, if you will. Yeah, I'm out. No, thank you. Keep me far away.
Couldn't have been a more phenomenal diagnosis of that game. But I'm going to take Arizona -8.5 because there's just like –
Don't take your boys, but fuck that game.
Like, dude, you're telling me Caleb Williams and Arizona. Like, here's my thing about college basketball now that we're into March and with the better teams. Like, that second half with 5 minutes left is going to determine your 8.5 point spread. Either Arizona goes on a run and like pushes the lead to 15 and UCLA can't come back, or UCLA somehow is scratching and clawing the whole game and keeps it within like 5.
Yeah.
I just don't see a world in which Arizona doesn't pull away at the end of the game. Like this Arizona team, that's what they do. The last 5 minutes, last 8 minutes, they just start beating you into submission. Either Caleb Love gets hot, they feed it inside, they kick it out. Like that's what they do. They run away late. And there's just nothing about this UCLA team that tells me they'll be able to stop a late run from Arizona.
The one thing that worries me, and I'll hopefully keep you away from nuking it, still trust your gut and take your bets. But these are two complete opposite teams. You got Arizona who likes to run. You got Arizona who's quick. They're fast. Arizona actually talented. One of the faster teams in the country. And then you've got UCLA who's a snail. UCLA who leans into their defense. UCLA whose only good player really is Bona. It's two opposite teams. And typically when those teams face off, I give the advantage to the home team in college basketball because these guys are not good. No teams are really good. And the home team gets a massive advantage in college basketball, especially when you've got two contrasting squads. So that's what's going to keep me off this puppy. But sure, on paper, Arizona should rout the Bruins and steal their lunch money today. Yeah.
All right. Well,
this is also a game you 100% could live bet and get a better line, but that's a lot of work.
I think you're right. I think it might be live bets, but you might have
because that game will be tied 10 minutes in.
Dude, UCLA will probably be up 2 at half.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It won't matter because Arizona is an absolute offensive juggernaut. And they're going to win by 20. But
it's literally how it goes.
Get a better live line.
Literally how it goes. UCLA is going to be up 2 at half. Like it.
Yeah.
UCLA
first half might be actual rent pair. Straight up rent pair.
I'm not even kidding. Like you might be so right. Like that first half, UCLA might end up 2 to 5 points, and everyone's gonna be like, "Arizona's fucking chalk, Mikey. You're a fucking idiot. Like UCLA was a free bet." And then either Arizona comes out in the second half and drops 50 points, or they lose outright. Like that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Like they always do. Yep. I like where your head's at there today, Mike. You're pretty locked.
Yeah,
I feel pretty sharp angles on the CBB board. I'm impressed. I like what you're locking in tonight.
I got a game that I would like to talk about as well.
Oh, let's go, Josh.
I mean, dude, how do you not fade Siena at this point of the year?
Okay, let me give you the Siena rundown here.
Oh, no.
Let me give you the Siena breakdown because I've been following this team like a hawk.
They're so bad.
They are so bad. Like a hawk.
They are so bad. But, Josh, did you know they've actually beaten this Niagara team twice this season?
Did they? I did not know that.
Not once. Twice. So two of Siena's 4 wins this year. Half of their wins have come against this Niagara team. So go ahead and keep me away from Niagara or Siena because this game is fucking whack. All right, give me a break. Siena's terrible. They got no heart. But this Siena team is solid, or they're supposed to be. They have talent on the squad. They gave their best player a $150,000 car to come play there for NIL, and it seems like he got complacent. I don't know what it is, but the Siena team typically has a couple dogs. JVL McCullum, a couple years ago, Will Clayton, I believe, came from Siena as well. Like this team has had talent in recent years. Or he might have been from Iona, but either way, this Siena team has had talent, and they have talent, which worries me a little bit because number one, they've beaten this team twice already. Number two, Niagara is playing like moose shit right now. They look terrible. The Mount absolutely emasculated them the other nights, and the Mount stinks. This Niagara team, beginning of the season, wagons, making all their threes, lucky as heck. End of the season, regression, law of averages, they're back. They stink. Keep me away from this game. No thanks.
Been watching them like a hawk.
I was looking at KenCom, and the only teams rated lower than Siena are Coppin State, IUPUI, and Mississippi Valley State.
Miss Valley State.
they're the worst. They're 1-28.
They played today too, plus 17.5 is their spready.
Oh, Espresso with a correction. He's saying what my data was incorrect. They've actually only played once this year. It was a reschedulement. And it was just a double posted score. So, okay. All right. That doesn't make it as weird, but I still would stay away. They've already beaten them once.
I mean, make no mistake. This team is 4-25 and it's not a 10-point spread. Like that should tell you it's weird.
Yeah, but Niagara's also not good.
Yeah, of course. But 4-25?
It's going to be a ball game.
It's going to
be a ball game.
Horrendous. Yeah. All right, Krabs. Well, as always, we appreciate you coming on every Thursday. You got the script from Krabs. We talked through some games. Hopefully, everyone in the crowd got a little, got some help from us. And keep in mind, if you subscribe to the YouTube, we do have a Krabs 24-hour stream coming up. If you guys reach, is it 5K?
Yep.
5K before March Madness. I think we're almost at 4K right now. It's definitely feasible.
If we reach 5K by March Madness, Krabs will do another 24-hour stream. The last 24-hour stream was hysterical, so I do kind of want it to happen again. So we'll be doing a push today for that as well. But Krabs, as always, appreciate you for coming on, and we'll see you on BTL coming up next.
See you, Krabs.
Stay sharp, Mike. You're locked in. Peace, Joshy.
Dude, I'm locked in. I fucking love Krabs Thursdays. Yeah. I love just throwing games at him because there's not a game you can throw at him that he's not like, here's the thing about that game.
I just threw Niagara and Siena at him. Like, literally the worst game on the slate.
Dude, he literally goes, okay, now let me tell you about that Siena game. Yeah. It was like, dude, like I literally love it because I know there's not a game I can throw at him that he doesn't have something written up on. Like I could have been like Tennessee State, Western Illinois. Be like, listen, here's the thing about Tennessee State, Western Illinois. It's like you want to take Western Illinois. Like I love it every single Thursday. It gets me going. People forget also, Krabs had Seton Hall money line. I had Seton Hall money line. That's our first combined win.
Yeah, maybe of all time.
We might be getting hot. The kids might be getting hot on the combos. Josh, let's do the It's Already Locked. Let's do the plan B, and then let's get them out of here. What's the It's Already Locked? Highs over in the college basketball board.
It's already
It's going to be something gross.
You think?
Watch it be Siena Niagara. I would die laughing.
I don't think that there's anything that. Oh, no, there is one. Northern Kentucky and Wright State. 161.
That's a phenomenal over.
Yeah.
I love that. For those that don't know,
I think we've had Wright State in it.
That may be new. It's Already Locked is the highest over in the college basketball board that Josh and I take every single day. Northern Kentucky, Wright State, 161.
Yes, sir. And there's 3 games today that could potentially be the plan B.
I've got to play in 2 of them.
In 2 of them?
Yeah, but I want you to pick.
It's going to be the Cal Stanford over.
Wow. I did not see that coming.
We're taking that.
I did not see that coming.
I know you like it, though.
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. I also love Oregon State at home with plus points. I mean, they love to cover at home. Just what they do. Jordan Pope, 20 points. They probably cover against Utah.
A lot of points.
Listen, the POD. You already had it. Southern Miss. Okay? Pepperdine minus 9.5. Pacific is moose shit. Fading Pacific with literally everything in my body. Arizona might be up there. I'm tailing Krabs on a couple plays. Austin P I like. That wasn't a Krabs site, but Austin P I like. I love Abilene Christian with Krabs. That is going to be a phenomenal game.
A little plus chicky.
Yeah, a little plus chicky. Just a little bit of plus chicken on a Thursday. Listen, little inspiration, little motivation, get you out of here. Here's the thing about Thirsty Thursdays. You got to stay thirsty and you got to get after it. Okay? That's what we're going to be doing. I want to play you guys a little clip on TikTok that I heard last night. And I think it's something that we've already talked about before. But I love it. I absolutely loved it. And I wanted to play it for you guys today because I think it is a great message. And I don't think that people think like this enough. And we're going to break it down after we listen to it. Okay, here we go. Ready? Everybody ready for this?
Don't leave what's good for something you think is better. Because by the time you realize that better ain't good, good has found better. And that's going to fly over your head.
And I think you guys, you might not have heard him. He said, don't leave what's good for better. Because by the time you realize that better ain't good, good has left for better. And I think it's something we've talked about on this show before and something that a Providence player once said. The grass is green where you water it. Right? And I think a lot of the time we get complacent and we look out over that fence and we, peek our head over and we go, oh, they kind of got something good going on over there. And I think you've seen it in the transfer portal in college basketball. I think you've seen the transfer portal in college football. A lot of times you just want to go, oh, it looks just a little bit better over there. If maybe I can just get over this fence over there, I'm going to feel way better. But the reality is there's no better situation than your own because you can make your own situation better just by watering the grass. The grass is not greener over there. The grass is green where you water it. You could go over there and not water that grass. It's going to be way shittier than the place that you left. So on a thirsty Thursday, all I'm going to ask is that you lock in. That's all I'm going to ask you to do. Just lock in, whether it's your work, whether it's your hobby, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your marriage, whatever it is. All I'm going to ask on a thirsty Thursday, just lock in. Okay? Water your grass and don't worry about what's going on because comparison is the thief of joy. You can compare yourself to the grave. Okay? So do me a favor. Just lock in on a Thursday and water your own grass and don't worry about what everyone else has got going on because life is a 100-year journey, hopefully a little longer than that. You think about a 100-year journey, okay, you had a bad week, you had a bad day, got 100 years to live, man. So just lock in and water your own grass. Good afternoon, good morning, and good night. Did that wrong. Either way, from the morning after, we'll be here tomorrow morning. As always, 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribe to the YouTube. Subscribe to the Twitch. Thank you guys so much. I love every single one of you. Stay right here. We got BTL coming up right here. Same stream. You don't even have to go anywhere. They're going to give you the sharp report for literally every sport on the site. Josh, get us